Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravane Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavare Paschacha Desha Tarine. After joining the movement and being in America for about a year and a half, I was in Dallas, Texas, and the temple president one day announced that because land was purchased in India for 3 great projects, but there were very few devotees, that Prabhupada wanted 50 devotees to immediately come to India. Who would volunteer? So I immediately raised my hand. And at that time, it's not that the ticket was given to me. We had to go out and collect the money. That took some time by selling Back to Godhead magazines. And then in April of 1972, I arrived in Bombay. I still remember the taxi ride from the airport to Hare Krishna land. Early in the morning, I was shocked to see people just sleeping on the pavement. And then we came to Hare Krishna land. At that time, there were 6 tenanted buildings and a shack temple and a little like tent place, I suppose. The conditions were horribly austere, and it was a shock for me. There were 2 outhouses, means little structures, hole in the ground. That was the toilets. There was a water tap, only one, surrounded by a pool of greenish water. And when you turn the tap, you get a shock, because somehow it was connected to the electricity. We could just sleep here and there anywhere. The women were on the roof of one of the tenanted buildings, but the men had to just sleep out in the open or under any place. Cook was hired, and there were so many devotees. So I got very, very sick. And then Giriraj Maharaj, the temple president, took compassion, sent me to Calcutta, because there was an actual building, a roof over the head. So I was in Calcutta 1972 until 1979. So I didn't have any time in Bombay when Srila Prabhupada was here, but I came in 1979. And I compiled this small book, Srila Prabhupada's Challenge. I wanted to inform you about one other aspect of Srila Prabhupada's desire, which I think has not been mentioned. Of course, Srila Prabhupada, you've heard from so many people, the great struggle to take possession of the land, to build the temple. But aside from building a temple here or a project there, Srila Prabhupada also had a grander desire, which he explained. While on a morning walk in Los Angeles on December 11th, 1973, Srila Prabhupada said, "My health is not always going on nicely. Still, why am I trying? I want to begin a revolution against this godless civilization. This is my ambition. So it is a fact that aside from opening so many temples and getting so many disciples and life members and supporters, Srila Prabhupada actually, his inner ambition was to change the face of our present-day godless civilization. On another morning walk in Los Angeles on June 6, 1976, Srila Prabhupada said, "The Kurukshetra battle was for this purpose. The Pandavas should be on the throne and not Duryodhana. The Krishna Consciousness movement is all around. It is not that we're simply chanting, we're fighting also." So, what that fight that Srila Prabhupada referred to, he explained very nicely on a morning walk in Los Angeles, May 3rd, 1973. Srila Prabhupada said, "The whole world is running on the false theory that life was born out of matter. But this is not a fact. How to defeat this theory, that is our business. We have to defeat this rascal theory. We have to challenge all these rascals and defeat them. How is it possible?" Srila Prabhupada was walking with his disciple Swarup Damodar, who was from Manipur but studying in California, became a PhD in organic chemistry. Swarup Damodar replied, "How is it possible to defeat them?" "By logic, Prabhupada, by logic and by science. We have to make a program because this theory is most misleading. The whole human society is affected by this misleading theory. We have to make a program, go from place to place, and invite all the scientists. We must make this program because we cannot allow this nonsense theory to go on. We must do something." So, time is very limited, but it is a fact that all over the world, in all the schools, in all the media, it is taught as if it is a fact that life just somehow came from matter. But of course, the few of us who have come to Krishna consciousness, we know this is absurd. So, Srila Prabhupada, with his scientist devotees, he formed the Bhaktivedanta Institute, which is located here on the second floor of the guest house building. And Srila Prabhupada even was so enthusiastic, he was ready to give the entire building to the Bhaktivedanta Institute. He said, "You can construct another building. We have so much land here." So, now in India especially, the Krishna Consciousness movement is so strong. There are so many members. There is so much public support. Srila Prabhupada wanted this false theory to be boldly challenged. He also wanted Krishna consciousness to be taught in the schools. He often quoted the verse by Prahlad Maharaj, "Komaram acharet pragyo dharman bhagavataniha, durlabham manusham janma tarapya dhruvam artadam," where Prahlad says, "My dear schoolmates, this Krishna consciousness should be cultivated from the very childhood." So I think there could be some kind of push that, because after all, there are many leading politicians, even the Prime Minister, who are favorable to Krishna consciousness. Okay, don't throw out the Western education or the idea of Darwinian evolution, but side by side, let the children know there's a choice. There's two theories. that life evolved from matter, or that life came from life. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna.